Guys, this stuff is shockingly bad for Ford. As you guys know, Ford, they have been the worst car company in the world for warranty costs, recall costs, all that stuff that you don't want to be last place in. They've literally been last place in the world now for, I believe it's been 6 years. Ford CEO Jim Farley has been furious. He's gone off publicly at his engineers and he said it's a huge problem for Ford. It's putting them into a position where they think, in the future we could go bankrupt because of all these massive costs. And unfortunately, Ford, they had hoped this year would be better. They'd hoped they wouldn't come last in the world. They are coming last in the world by a pretty big margin, meaning they're paying out more money per car on recalls and warranty costs than anyone else. But this year, it's been even worse. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Build quality. It matters because that's part of your costs, right? It's part of what affects your bottom line. Well, it's also a measure of quality. Do your customers come back if your build quality is bad? Maybe not. Ford's 81 recalls this year are causing massive financial stress at the company. The whole concept of Built Ford Tough, it's kind of more of a marketing slogan than reality. So far this year, Ford has had more recalls in the first 5 months of the year, not even including June, just the first 5 months, than it had in all of 2024 combined. Last year, Ford had 67, right? This year, we're not even halfway through the year, Ford already has 81. Now, here's the thing, Tesla, they have fair few recalls, right? But most of those are recalls via software updates. You can change and fix things via software. Ford is not in a position where it can do that yet. This means, right, guys, Ford has been doing a battery recall every 2 days. Every 2 days, Ford has been putting out a recall. As of today, we're 172 days into 2025, says CarScoops, and these numbers are shocking. Ford issued a recall every 2.1 days this year, impacting 4.1 million vehicles. That means, on average, 50,341 vehicles were affected by every recall. Put this in perspective. Ford recalled 4.77 million cars across 66 recalls. These are physical recalls, not software updates. And just one over-the-air update fix. This year, only one recall has had an over-the-air update. So of those 81 recalls, only one was an over-the-air update. Yeah, it's these. Whew, something's gone off course. And the problem is, right, one of these fixes, one of the problems cost Ford a ton of money. It affected 1.1 million vehicles. That was actually, I believe, Ford's backup cameras. The cameras were faulty. Ford had to basically replace them all. This is literally costing Ford billions of dollars. That's how bad it is. It's costing them billions of dollars. At least 10 different recalls from this year include the backup camera. So technology for Ford is a big part of the problem, and that technology seems to be getting more glitchy and worse and just causing more problems. Now, it's not just the cameras, unfortunately. The electrical system, that's also failing. And that's one of the major recalls. In fact, it's responsible for 17 different recalls this year alone, including one where Ford had to recall 272,817 vehicles for a 12-volt battery that could rapidly degrade and fail. Tesla had some problems with this, right? 12-volt batteries, and they just went, you know what? We're going to put lithium batteries, 12-volt lithium batteries in all of our cars. That fixed it. It literally fixed the problem for Tesla. They went 12-volt, bang, all of them. And we've never heard any issues ever again. Might have been one or two, but nothing real serious, right? Ford said that 492,000 vehicles could have the B-pillar trim fall off. Apparently, Ford is now recalling 200,000 Mustang Mach-E, so Mustang electric vehicles, and they put a stop sale on them as well, along with another 100,000 Mustang Mach-E's overseas for door handle problems. that no software fix in the world could possibly fix. The issues that Ford are facing are everywhere. I mean, everywhere. All over the place. Trims, door handles, software, cameras, 12-volt batteries. Here's the thing though, 14 recalls did include fewer than 100 cars. So 14 out of these 80 recalls were not so bad, but the rest of them were bad. Unfortunately, Ford are facing some pretty big problems, right? Some of the recalls have been for engines, and that costs Ford a lot of money. So how can we see this affecting Ford? For one, Ford do have a lot of debt, more than 100 billion at last count. They are losing a lot of money on developing electric cars, which is happening too slowly. They're not selling enough of them. So because they're selling a small amount, it's costing them huge amounts to sell every single one of them, and then having to recall those cars anyway. In terms of recalls so far this year, in the United States, Ford is leading by 1 million miles with 81. The next closest is Forest River. They make RVs, vans, and trucks. They have 18. Volkswagen Group and Stellantis are next at 15. Mercedes at 13. Honda, Acura, and General Motors are at 12. How is Ford at 81? They're so far ahead of everyone else. It's like preposterously wide, this gap. And it is costing them huge amounts of money. So Ford then lost, right? They're on track to lose around $5 billion from their electric car division. But these warranty recalls, they're probably going to lose them another couple of $1 billion. The problem is Ford sales are going down in China enormously, where they historically have made huge sums of money. And now they're looking at this. This year is going to be really difficult for Ford. If you have Ford stock, I'd say probably a good time to consider investing in something else. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye. Ford's German union is predicting bankruptcy. They're saying that in spite of $5 billion, it's not enough, and that Ford in Europe is about to go under. This is a pretty major catastrophe for Ford. As I've said many times now, Ford sales in China are disappearing very, very quickly. And it's going to mean that this massive income stream Ford has been making from the rest of the world, Europe and China, which represent around, more than 60% of the global automotive industry, that's going to be gone within a couple of years.